What is going on, guys? We're back here today with a discussion video, and today we're going to be discussing the first tier list for the OU tier in Crown Tundra metagame. So yeah, it's been about a week now, a little bit more than a week since Crown Tundra has come out. The DLC has been a blast, so many new things in OU. I mean, look at these teams, man. I got Kartanas, I got Arctozold, I got Swampert, Zapdos. It's crazy, and you know, the tiers become a blast. There's so much different stuff in here, so I figured, you know what, it's time I rank the Mons. My boy Loki, he passed me these tier stats, and you can see, just look at the top 10 right now. Heinous, man. Genesect, of course, who's banned, but Lando, Heatran, Pheromosa, I mean, all those old guys. Excadrill, where is he, bro? Excadrill at 31 right now. He's struggling. He doesn't even know if he's going to be OU next month. This metagame is on fire. So I figured, you know what, it's time to make my own tier list, give you guys what I think, if I agree with some of these percentages. I know the metagame is young, but I figured, you know what, I'll at least give my opinion on all the things I've tried, what I recommend you guys use, and what I recommend you avoid, all that good stuff. Also have some Smogon threads open here just so we can see all of the Pokemon that are available. As you can see, these are all of those, so that we can talk about them. And then also, they have a thread with people's personal OU viability rankings, which I think is pretty nice, because I think for the most part, I should be able to agree with some of these people, and yeah. So with that, let's just hop right into it. So let's look at the top 10 first, people. The top 10. Now, Genesect at 28.74% is pretty surprising. Probably because it got banned, which stopped it from having like 80% usage. But yeah, Genesect at 28.74% usage, number one, doesn't surprise me. RIP. Landorus-I at number 2 at 25.86% usage. Now, Landorus-I is super good, right? I've been using it on almost all my teams. Very, very few switch-ins, right? Especially if it has Psychic. If it has Psychic, you can't go into any of your like Landorus or Zapdos or anything like that because it's getting 2-hit KO'd. And if it has Sludge Wave, well, then it's able to circumvent fairies, right? So you gotta pick. Or grass types in general. So Landorus-I in general is able to just break through most stuff. The most common set I've seen is Calm Mind 3 attack. But Rock Polish is very, very good versus teams. It's very easy to chip away at this thing's counters. Landorus-I also has amazing bulk. So it's able to take hits like Urshifu Sucker Punch, Zygarde's +1, +2,000 arrows very easily. It can even take Spectrier's Shadow Ball. I think it can tank Spec's Shadow Ball at +0, which is just crazy. So Landorus-I in general, its bulk is really, really good. Because, I mean, it has Landorus' bulk, right? For the most part, look at this thing's defenses, man. It's fantastic. 89 HP, 90 defense, and 80 speed def. And I mean, you don't have to go against its defenses. You can just run a flat out timid nature. And so this thing is quite bulky, especially with the fact that it has 331 speed, right? When you see 319 HP and 216 defense, something like Urshifu can't even kill this thing with Bandit Sucker Punch, and it's getting fried by Earth Power. This thing also just straight up beats all of its resistances. You got to understand that too. Shit like Pheromosa, I mean, I know that's frail, but it flat out dies to Earth Power. Stuff like Spadef Swampert is taking, I think it almost gets 2-hit KO'd. I think Swampert might actually be bulky enough to live 2. But for the most part, you're Fizz Def, so that thing's getting blown away. Zygarde, even with max Spadef, you can maybe take 2. But, I mean, you're going to lose your Zygarde in that process. A lot of the times you need Zygarde's HP. You can't let that thing get low. If Zygarde gets low, most of the time, you know, you're going to fail to sweep with it because it's too weak. But, yeah. When I think about Landorus-I being at number 2, I think I agree. I think it's fantastic. Probably the scariest mon to run into in the metagame because it just gets the most shit done, you know? Like, as soon as it comes out, you start worrying about what to go to, unless you have something like Assault Vest Tornadus, or like, I don't know. I'm not even going to say Moltres or Mandibuzz because Focus Blast blows those things up, and not to mention Landorus-I has X to Calm Mind, but Torn is pretty solid because at least it's faster, and it can only get hit by Psychic and Sludge Wave. But, you know, if you run in Rock Slide, that thing is circumvented, like I said. But yeah, Landorus-I, number 2. I don't disagree with that. Very good mon. One of the best mons, of course. Moving on from that, we got Heatran at 22.5% and number 3. So that's pretty cool. I like Heatran being at number 3. Obviously not a broken mon. When you think of Heatran, you're not as scared as when you see Landorus or Pheromosa, Kyurem-B, Spectrier. Like, literally all these other guys are a lot scarier in theory than Heatran. But Heatran's at number 3. And it makes sense because this thing has just been fantastic. So we go through some of the sets you can run with Heatran, right? Like, what do I got here? Stealth Rock, Magma, Earth Power, Taunt. This is like the most classic set. I guess this guy has some speed, 230 for modest zone. That makes sense. But you can really mess around with this however you want. I've also run the Eruption set, of course. That's something Heatran got. It can now run Eruption easily. I think this one's Scarf Timid, but you can also run Specs if you want. And Eruption's able to fry literally everything. You OHKO so many things without weather conditions too. Like Landorus, for example, gets OHKO'd by Eruption. Obviously, it's 150 base power. Like, this thing is damn strong. So definitely a lot of fun to use. And you can even run Scarf Dragon Pulse, you know, to surprise stuff like Zygarde. I really enjoy that. And Dragapult, because you're... No, are you slower than Dragapult? I think you are slower than Dragapult still with Scarf, which is very pathetic, but it is what it is, man. You can't be perfect all the time. But yeah, the most seen Heatran set is the Magma Storm set. So here's another take on it. This one with a little less speed, but instead of Taunt, he has Toxic. Magma Storm Earth Power is basically the necessity of the set, able to trap Toxapex, all sorts of annoying stuff, able to spread the Toxic. If you have Taunt, even stuff like Slowking, you know, would struggle to beat you. Because Heatran has such a good SpDef stat. So even something like Slowking would struggle to beat you if you had Magma Storm, Taunt, Toxic, and you didn't even have rocks on it. So that's something to think about, man. Heatran, I understand Heatran being so high up. Like I said, he's not the offensive demon that the other guys are, even with Eruption. I mean, Eruption is definitely a scary set, but Eruption Heatran is something you really, really have to, what's it called? You really have to subscribe to with your team. Like, you have to have Sun. Your Scarfer is also Heatran, so it's very slow. It's already slower than a lot of things that, like Pheromosa, Dragapult, Electro Kid, all that stuff. And also, like, when you're running a choice Heatran, you want to click the fire move the most times. So if they have a Pex, Slowbro, Slowking, opposing Heatran, you know, it's a challenge. So Heatran, I didn't expect it to be number 3, but defensively, I guess it makes sense because it's such a no BS check to everything. So many annoying guys. Like, Heatran is just the dude to switch in. He's also the GOAT at getting up rocks. Like, yeah, I mean, he checks so much stuff. He just does what he always did. Magearna's back, so it's just nice that he's able to check Magearna. Even with Focus Blast, still able to check it. I have not seen very many Tapu Leles at all. As you can see, I don't even have a team with it except at the very bottom or something of my builder. Do I have one? Shit, do I? I think I have one, right? Dang, I really got... that's pathetic. But I guess it didn't get Expanding Force, so I can't show it love. One day, though. But what's it called? Looking at this, Heatran at number 3 makes sense. It's very good defensively. It checks so much in this metagame. Yeah, I can't disagree with that, honestly. It is surprising because, like I said, the other guys possess a much scarier offensive threat. But the defensive capabilities plus the ability to trap fat shit is really, really good. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the ability to trap fast shit really, like, triumphs over so much of this shit. Okay, so let's go on to number 4. So Spectrier at 21.6% usage. Now, that's pretty cool too, considering this mon's awful move pool. I've been running Choiced, but a lot of people like to run Substitute Nasty Plot, Substitute Disable, Sub Nasty Plot Hex. I think that's a really strong set too. I've definitely had trouble with that set against me. I haven't even tested Sub Nasty Plot out, so I can't say. But if you look at my teams, a lot of these have no Ghost immunity. I have Mandibuzz, which I consider to be decent. But if it's Nasty Plot, you're gonna get screwed. Also, it's gonna take a Will-O-Wisp, so they can start playing strong against you. Especially if Mandibuzz gets knocked off, Spectrier owns Mandibuzz. If Mandibuzz takes the knockoff, because if rocks go up, it's just too much. It's too much. It's too much going against you. The Shadow Ball with Specs is doing damn near 30%. Rocks up, so then what? You're at like 40%. You have to roost or do whatever. They can even spam it going for SpDef drop. They can switch to their own thing, getting initiative. So it's really easy to pressure something like Mandibuzz. If you're able to just make the right team, right? Plus, Spectrier is similar to Regieleki and Regidrago, that you know the Ghost move is coming out, right? So you want to go to your Mon to basically soak that up, right? You have your designated Mon to soak up that hit. With Spectrier, it can go for Will-O-Wisp on the switch to those Dark types. So then it can go for Specs Hex on the switch. There's no Pursuit in this metagame either. So this thing is definitely scary. With Substitute, it's able to circumvent a lot of shit too. And then, of course, it has Grimnay, right? So it's getting a special attack boost every single time it kills something. It's like the ultimate snowball effect Pokemon. But 394 speed's great. The typing is pretty good too, because you're able to take every hit from Mosa. It's not bulky by any means. Let me see this. Let me see this guy's speed. I mean, not speed, his defenses. I know he's not bulky for shit. This is my Mono Ghost team, by the way. 5 goes. This shit's crazy. Shout out my boy Ski for that one. But 394 speed. So yeah, you can see his defenses aren't that good. 100 HP, 60 defense, 80 SpDef. But it's good enough to live shit like Earth Power from Landorus if you really need to, right? So it can always live like something. Like I had this thing live like a +2 EQ or something from Blaziken or some shit. Okay, maybe I'm making that up. I think I lost my life orb though, something like that. But yeah, dude, Spectrier, Spectrier is nice. So this is a spec set. Shadow Ball, Hex, Will-O-Wisp, Mudshot. You can run Uproar if you want, or Dark Pulse, but I think this is better. Mudshot is good because you hit Heatran and you hit T-Tar if you really would need to hit those. So it's good to at least have an option. But Spectrier being at number 4, I understand. It's just not a lot of ghost types. I mean, not a lot of ghost things. Not a lot of ghost like soaks. What am I trying to say? Sponges. Sponges. Fuck. I was like, what am I trying to say here? Soaks? God damn. Not a lot of ghost sponges. You got Blissey, but again, that they can get dealt with Taunt, Will-O-Wisp if you really want to. Again, Tyranitar at number 36. This thing continues to drop in viability. Becomes more ass every single day. The Pokemon like continues. So it's only a matter of time before they send this to UU. This shit is garbage. So I'm not even gonna really bring it up as a Spectrier. It is a Spectrier counter, but I mean nobody uses it. And then the other guys just they get fried. So Spectrier number 4, I agree with completely. Great mon. Zygarde number 5. Now Zygarde number 5, bro. I thought Zygarde was gonna be number 2 or number 3, bro. Zygarde is broken. Zygarde is actually broken. He's better than all 3 of these guys. He's better than everybody here. Zygarde is broken as shit. Now, when the OU Council was voting, Zygarde got 5 votes from their council to ban it and 3 to not ban. But they didn't consider that to be super majority, so Zygarde was not banned. But it still got a 5-3 majority, which just goes to show that the council believes it's broken. I'd say most people believe Zygarde is broken too. This thing is a complete demon. Let me go through these personal OU viability rankings. So I see at S+, this guy claims Zygarde's broken. This guy has Zygarde in S tier. Let's see. Oh, this guy has Zygarde in S tier. Oh, I know, Katie. They sent me some good teams in the past. Zygarde in S tier. Zygarde in S tier. I think people are overrating Kyurem-B, but that's just broken too. Zygarde. So you get the point, man. Everybody believes Zygarde is S+, right? Yeah. So S, I would agree that Zygarde and Lando run this bitch right now. And Zygarde's broken. Zygarde's flat out broken in my opinion. Yeah, I think it's way too good. Glare has always been bullshit. Very, very annoying. Very, very stally set that just sits around annoying teams. It's very hard to kill this thing. Tapu Fini's kind of nice because at least you can't glare when the Misty Terrain's up. But it doesn't matter. This thing is the GOAT sponge. If it has a Spadef spread, Landers cannot 2-KO with Earth Power. Takes a glare. Heatran, screwed. Spectrier, screwed. If you get burned though, that's pretty tough. You're easily taking hits from Landorus-T. All the grass types like Tangrowth, they all lost HP Ice, so they can't just come in and wall this thing. You can run grass now, but I mean, is Tangrowth even OU? It looks like it's not. Damn. Yeah, Kyurem-B is like the best. In my opinion, it's like the best thing to deal with Zygarde. Obviously, you don't want to take Glare, but Icicle Spear blows this shit up, so that's nice, and it goes through Spore. Pheromosa as well with triple Axle can check this thing, but can't switch into Glare, of course. Urshifu is also quite good because Wicked Blow goes right through any coil defense boost, so it doesn't matter. I mean, like as long as, but I mean, you're gonna get full parried on Glare, but you can at least get that Wicked Blow hit off, and if you do, it's nice. But again, you'll probably just get paralyzed and get PP stalled out of your 8. So yeah, but Zygarde, like you guys know, its natural bulk allows it to just shit on all teams. I don't think Dragon Dance is even good. Maybe it's good on screens, but for the most part, everybody is just running specially defensive Glare Coil. This is the set you'll see for the most part. I believe this probably outspeeds Modest Heatran or some shit. Probably outspeeds Modest Heatran or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, Zygarde, incredibly bulky mon with 292 Spadef and 416 HP, not to mention the 121 defense. I don't think that this thing is going to stay OU for long. I think it's only a matter of time before we do a suspect test, or they just, I don't know, maybe they'll quick ban it. It's broken though, I think, but I think they'll have to test it. I don't think it'll be fair to just quick ban it. But in my opinion, yeah, Zygarde's broken. Like, it just checks so much shit. It's the GOAT. It's the GOAT. Like, it's broken. It's better than everything I heard. It sweeps as much as Lando. It could either be a toss-up between them. Lando-T at number 6, that should surprise me. Landorus-T is not that good. I don't know how this is number 6. I don't know why people think this thing is that good. I don't even think I have teams with it. I think I got like 2 teams with it. I got this team where it's rocking a defensive set, but like not really, because we're fast as hell too. This, like, dude, Landorus-T is not the one in this meta. I'm gonna tell you right now. All of the sets I have with it are defensive, but there's no like I don't understand how this thing could be number 6. I think people are overrating its ability. Scarf isn't bad though. Scarf is still scary. So in my opinion, Scarf's the best set. Like, it's always the best set. And you always should have knockoff on your Landorus-T, because then you possess an immediate threat to Landos and Zygardes and shit. Because you knock off Zygarde's leftovers, and then it's going to have trouble, because it can't sub after that. Landorus-I, you knock off its Life Orb, it's weak versus you. And if Landorus-I isn't running Psychic, Landorus-T is a decent pivot. If Landorus-T loses to a lot of shit like Pheromosa, Kyurem-B, I mean, Mag Ice Beams it, Urshifu doesn't get hit by Intimidate, so you're getting blown away. I really don't understand how this thing is number 6 in usage, like, at all. Like, it seems garbage to me. SD sets don't really get usage, I've seen. I think lead with Stealth Rock is pretty good because you can explode. It's kind of taking Excadrill shine, but I still don't think this thing is like number 6 good. I think people were just hyped that it fell down. They were like, oh shit, the GOAT is back, the GOAT is back. But like, nah, G, like it's not that good. It's good, it's Landorus-T, it can't be bad, but Scarf's my favorite set. I think Rocks is pretty solid. I honestly would try to run an offensive set with like a Magnezone, but even Corv has just died down in usage. You can see that thing at 32. Nobody gives a fuck about Corviknight anymore, which is crazy. But yeah, let's see. What do we got here? Yeah, I mean, honestly, just looking at the rest of the metagame, like Landorus-T, I really think it's just a hype pick right now. It's not that great. I don't see Swords Dance sets enough either, nor do I even think Swords Dance sets would be like the biggest threat, or even like that viable of a threat. Rock Polish maybe, but like, nah, G, it's not. It's not the one. But Landorus-T at Scarf and a defensive set are still decent. Just number 6 does not make sense to me. Let me see what other people think. This guy has it an A+. This guy has it an A+. I feel like people are overrating its ability. Seriously. It's a good mon, man, but like, see, I agree with this. See, I agree way more with this. In an A rank, I agree with Ruby's rank, man. Facts. The Landorus-T is definitely on par with Tapu Fini, and consistency-wise, it's probably on par with Blaziken. I don't think Spectrier is as bad as Blaziken, but maybe they just think Blaziken's good. But yeah, like I agree with that. More like an A ranker for Landorus. He's not no A+. He's not no S. You know. So number 6, too high. Mosa at 7. Mosa's beast. Such a beast. Yeah, I don't think it's broken. I think it's damn good. Scariest sets for me are Banded, probably to run against. Yeah, it's Banded, and like a choice in general is hella annoying, but Life Orb also can just shred your team. If you look at this and look through the counters, I mean, most things can't really take 2 hits from this. Everyone's favorite fighting switch-ins, Slowbro and Slowking, get bodied by U-turn. So you can't do that. It got access to Triple Axle, which is epic on Choice Band. Lets you slaughter Zygarde, destroy Tornadus, and the multi-hit move is just cool. Like, you can take out lead by Bombies, which is like honestly awesome. And you can just go through Sash, Substitute. I really like the Triple Axle Pheromosa God. As long as you hit, that shit's epic. It's a really nice move. Also got access to Drill Run, which lets you circumvent Aegislash and Toxapex. And it's always had Poison Jab, which lets you get through Clef, but I have not seen too many people running Jab. It just depends, right? Because you have to choose between Drill Run or Jab, because you have to run Ice Beam, Fighting Move, and Bug Move. So yeah, but Pheromosa is awesome. Number 7, interesting. I don't know, man. I feel like I thought it would have more usage. I don't see Quiver Dance too much. I played a guy using Quiver Dance. He had Quiver Dance Shockwave. That shit was ass. It lost to me because he didn't have a bug move, because he was running Shockwave to beat Toxapexes and Marowak and stuff like that. It was insane. But unfortunately, I do think Mosa should be a few spots higher, and by a few spots higher, I think it should be in the top 5 somewhere. I don't think it's as good as Zygarde, Lando, and even Tran might be more consistent, but it should be below. It should be above Landorus-T for sure. Kyurem, a lot of guys should be above Landorus-T, but yeah, Mosa at number 7 makes sense. I don't think they're gonna ban him soon. I think he has some time left in the tier. Kyurem Black at number 8. So we got Kyurem Black at number 8, 18% usage. A lot of people seem to believe Kyurem Black is broken, and Kyurem Black likely could be broken, but I think right now the metagame is in a very broken checks broken stage, so they don't know what to do about it. For example, Melmetal completely beats Kyurem Black for the most part, unless it's that Earth Power shit, then they can get through you. But I would say that's the number 1 biggest threat in the metagame right now, Kyurem Black. It does lose to Scarfers like Dragapult, sure. It loses to Scarfers like Mosa, sure. but it's like the GOAT at getting through his counters. With screens up, it's unkillable. Heavy duty boots means it can come on pretty nicely. DD Life Orb is another huge threat because then it just bodies the mons that can take a +1 hit normally. Like shit like Heatran, +1 Fusion Bolt, fucking that shit up. Like you just need to get a little bit of chip. And it's an easy guy to set up with. I also think the whole Icicle Spear thing is really nice because it lets you get past Zygarde, who's just annoying with Substitute and Glare. Yeah, Kyurem-B, one of the easiest mons to set up with. Good speed tier as well at 95. I really don't got too many complaints. His defenses have always been great. Typing has always been great. He's a hard body dude. Like he's just bossing up. Yeah, Kyurem-B is really up there in terms of threats to me. And I think it's probably broken alongside Zygarde. I think those two are the most broken. Kyurem-B really just be 6-0 in teams if you don't have Melmetal. Like seriously, I don't understand how people cannot think that shit's kind of broken. Like wouldn't this team just lose to a Kyurem Black? Think about it, right? Like like wouldn't I just lose to a Kyurem Black? Like how would I beat a Kyurem Black on this team, right? It would DD on it lives everybody's attack and DDs. So then what? I lose, right? Like and this is a team I got 2,000 with, right? Like this is not no bullshit. A lot of these teams get straight up body bag. Look at this team for example. This team is good. This is pretty strong. This is like about as strong as it gets versus Kyurem Black, I'd say. You got a Ferrothorn that can switch in, but it can't threaten, right? It'll get, never mind, it gets max DDs on this. This thing in Toxic, this thing, no, but he has Pheromosa to at least scare it out, and Magearna to tank the hit, and then Urshifu. So the offensive core is good. So that's the thing with Kyurem Black. At least offensive Pokemon can kind of scare it, but nothing can actually switch in, right? Even the bulkiest offensive Pokemon. Think of a mon like Kartana with insane 131 defense. That shit still can't switch into Icicle Spear. That's still doing a lot, easily shaving off more than half. So you got to think about that. Kyurem-B is broken in my book, but we'll see. Mag, number 9. Mag's awesome. Number 9 Mag. Number 9 Jeans. Mag is awesome. I've only used really Trick Room and Shift Gear. I have not played around with Specs or AV yet, but I think Mag is fantastic and definitely worth being in the top 10. So when we try to consider things that can beat Magearna in this metagame, we basically have Heatran. And that's like the number 1. I'd say especially defensive Toxapex is pretty solid as well. The lack of Z moves now is good, right? That's like one of the best nerfs they could have done to Magearna, because now it can't just straight up shift gear and explode Toxapex, Heatran, all those guys. You know they're gonna live the attack. Like you know for a fact you tank the attack. Even if they're Life Orb, you know you can tank the attack. With Z moves, it just fucked everything up, right? Because it's like 190 base power moves, 175 base power electric move. Like what are you supposed to do? A Farium Z, right? Which is 210 base power? Or maybe it's 200 base power. I don't even remember. Either way, obviously Z moves busted Magearna. And in my opinion, Magearna was broken in Gen 7. I guess it never ended up getting banned, but I do think Magearna was broken back then. It did, like that shit was busted. But right now, it's pretty nice. The lack of Z moves makes this thing decent to check. Again, it's probably another mon that fits in the broken checking broken category, meaning other shit is just able to manage it. But hey, even like Shift Gear is a demonic set, but you can defensively check it and you can offensively check it. Like look at this team for example. I'm trying to think if Mag came in on this team, how it would go down. So let's think of the things Mag could come in on, right? And just beat or set up on, right? So it would set up on my Bulu, and it would set up on my Bulu, I guess. If I had Latios up against it, first of all, Mystical Fire does 60%, and if it's not, like, I'm pretty sure you beat Magearna 1v1 because you drop the special attack. Maybe that's Assault Vest you beat 1v1, but yeah, and Mystical Fire does a shit ton because Latios is amazing, but we'll get into that when we get to that. Pex is fizzed up on this team, so Thunderbolt could hurt, but I can still probably haze that with ease. Urshifu can tank a +1 Bolt Beam, can't take a Fairy move or +1 Flash Cannon though, but CC will fry that. Bulu here, Bulu actually lets that thing get some recovery back, so I got to think about that, but +2 Horn Leech, +2 Close Combat. If it's not Calm Mind, this thing, or Flash Cannon, this can get managed because I'm Expert F. Kyurem-B, if it's not Focus Blast, I mean, Kyurem-B check. Melmetal, if he's not Focus Blast, he's getting screwed. And then Landorus obviously screws that shit up. Haze Pex is like the number 1 solid check, but Iron Defense, Magearna is still able to get through teams. But the number 1 thing is that Heatran is here. Heatran is number 2 in usage. And as good as Magearna is, my boy Heatran is a king. Literal kingpin of this shit. So it makes sense that it's number 9. I expect it to be top 10, but yeah. Now Urshifu at number 10 is cool and something I completely agree with and something that came to my eyes as well. So I thought other fighting types, Blaziken and Zapdos and just Mosa would all be the very obvious fighting types of choice. The ghosts, like these are crazy picks. But Urshifu stayed solid number 10, only a couple percent below Mosa, and honestly it's just as good as Mosa to me. So Urshifu has its sets, right? You got Banded, and you got Bulk Up, right? Those are the best sets in my opinion. I don't even use Scarf. I use Banded. I don't run U-Turn on Choice Band. I run Poison Jab or Iron Head because I think it's better to hit the fairies, the Bulus, the Finis, all that shit. Clefable. But yeah, you got two sets, Black Glasses and you got Choice Band. And this thing is just, oh my god, bro. You guys know what to expect when this thing comes out. First of all, it crits all its moves, right? It crits Wicked Blow, which is like the only move it goes for. I feel like the way you check this thing most of the time is hoping you stall out its close combats and Wicked Blows, literally. But yeah, Bandit Urshifu and Black Glasses Urshifu, those sets are so hard to beat after a single bulk up. This thing is quite bulky on the physical side, right? 100 HP, 100 defense. 60 speed F is dog shit. Diced quite a lot of special hits, Earth Power, Dracos, all that stuff is quick to fry it. But I mean, it doesn't matter. Bulk up Urshifu was really, really good. And Wicked Blow just lets you go through Intimidates, lets you go through all coils, bulk ups, all that shit. Its speed tier is just decent enough at 97, and again, its phys def is good enough to where bulk up is just a big ass threat to teams. Look at this team, for example. I got highlighted with this team. You guys have probably seen me use it on stream quite a bit. It's a great team. But Urshifu, oh my god, Urshifu be putting in work versus this team, bro. Mandibuzz, even with phys def, is getting smacked up by close combat, and if it gets knocked off, Wicked Blow to it KOs. Landorus cannot switch into any moves. Kartana cannot switch into any moves. Of course, they can threaten back. Cart doesn't OHKO, by the way. Landorus does OHKO, but can't switch in. Slowking, blown away. Mosa, blown away even by Sucker Punch. Can't switch in. Tran, again, like it's tough. When that thing gets its switch in, have mercy. Lord have mercy when Urshifu enters the field. Unless you have a Phys Def Clef and they don't have the coverage move for fairies, only then are you like excited to play against Urshifu. Otherwise, you're like, oh hell no. This shit coming from my team. But looking at the top 10, looks pretty decent. Hello? Damn, somebody just went out outside. My bad. But Landorus-T, number 6 is the only one I don't really agree with. Now let's get on to number 11 through number 40. Bros, Regieleki at number 11 is hilarious to me. I love the fact that this thing is number 11. Now, I thought this mon was going to be a fraudulent garbage pick. I really thought it was going to be a meme. Because I was like, man, how can Electrokid, a mon with this hilarious, laughable move pool? I mean, dude, I have a set with Electrokid, and I mean, this thing has become one of the agency's favorite. Look at this. We got 4 electric moves on this, bro. Like, you can't make this up. But besides Rapid Spin and Extreme Speed, what else do you need to run? The other set people like to run is Dual Screens, which, I mean, it's just Dual Screens. I don't really have too much of a comment on it. It does what it needs to do. And honestly, it's a pretty decent Dual Screener because it's so fast. And once you get the screen up, even though its defenses are shit, you can still usually live the hit courtesy of the screen. But Specs is the set I like the most. I haven't tried out Screens yet. Specs is just a demon. Rapid Spin as the last move is oftentimes really nice too, because at least it has some utility if you know they're going to keep going to the ground type. But me and Joey obviously did visit Regieleki on both of our channels, and yeah, I mean, this thing just baits in your ground type so hard, right? And if you look in the top 10, we got 3 ground types, both Landorus and Zygarde in the top 10. Hippo still has a decent usage as well. Swampert has also become pretty decent too. So, I mean, that's something to think about, right? It always forces in the ground type, and so you can try and take initiative of that, right, by going into your Kyurem-B or just, you know, Landorus or whatever likes to take advantage of ground types coming in. And if you are able to get rid of the ground type, then Electrokid will smash your team, literally. Like, it forces that type of situation. It's not broken, but it forces you to bring in your ground type. And if you don't bring in your ground type, nothing can take the hit, literally, except for Blissey and Ferrothorn, who actually can't take the hit because Electro Ball shooting those guys up. Electro Ball might as well be a machine gun, bro. That's a Glock 19 shooting them up. So it's crazy. But yeah, 11th makes sense to me. Peck's at number 12. Peck's doing what it gotta do. Defensive threat. Very good at hazing and shit. Like, I mean, yeah, it just checks everybody the way it always did. It's still a nice sponge to like random physical attacks. It can take Zygarde's hit and haze in a panic mode. It can pivot into Shadow Ball from Spectrier. Gets boned by Landorus-I. Gets trapped by Heatran. Something to think about. It can take on Mosa, Kyurem-Black setting up on it, Calm on Magearna setting up on it, Urshifu blowing it away with two Wicked Blows. So, I mean, it's still checked the same way it was always checked, but defensively it's still good. It still checks shit like Pex, and it annoys defensive mons like Mandibuzz, Slowbro, Corviknight. You get the gist. No, I don't have much of a comment on it. Zapdos at number 13. Okay, this is also hype. Zapdos is going to fall down as the tier continues. There's no way a mon like this can stay up this high. it only has a handful of good sets basically being choiced, and even then there's way better options because the speed kind of sucks, and 125 attack just doesn't cut it anymore, which I know sucks because its attack stat is awesome, its moves are awesome. I mean, not its attack stat, sorry, its design is awesome, its move pool is awesome. I mean, how can anyone hate on Zapdos? That shit is so exciting. There's a Scarf, but you can run Bandit or Bulk Up with the agility and the 2 hits. But yeah, not having Roost really boned to this thing. Like, actually, it sucks that it didn't get Roost. I don't think it's that great. Like, it's good, but it's, I don't know. As a Scarfer, it's not even that fast. It's outsped by most other Scarfers. Bandit is a threat, but again, a lot of shit just outspeeds and one-hit KOs it. Like, its defenses aren't that great, and again, it doesn't have Roost. 90 HP, 90 defense, 90 speed F. Like, yeah, that's decent, but it's not like its typing is the best. Yeah, it resists dark and ground moves, which is cool, but it gets fried by most special moves. Like, again, Landorus Psychic, one-hit KO, straight up. And I know Landorus is like the strongest shit, but I mean, that's the number 1 most used Mon, now that Genesect's gone, so you gotta think about that. Zapdos, I think, is gonna fall off in usage as time goes on, for sure. But, he's fun. He's a fun Mon, nevertheless. Clef, number 14. Yeah, bro, everybody loves this shit. They're always gonna love this shit. I've seen Stealth Rock, I've seen Wish, Teleport. Honestly, I think it should go down in usage. Everybody in the top 10 blows Clef up. So I don't really understand why this thing's usage is still at number 14. But I mean, it is Clef, and people love to use this thing to put up Stealth Rocks as well. Wish Teleport is always going to be good, especially because now that it has a great way to heal up Heatrans, Kyurem-Blacks, Tapu Fini, shit like that, Zygarde, it can just pass Wish to all of these like Mons with decent defense, but no like good, like stable recovery, I guess. Even Zygarde too, oh my god. So it's annoying in that sense. On fat teams, Wish Teleport Clefable is really, really good, which now I kind of understand why it's at number 14. Plus the fact that it's able to switch into all status still. But the metagame isn't really even status oriented now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to switch this into Toxics and Burns. Right now, people are blowing shit up with Earth Powers, Shadow Balls, Magma Storms. There's not really like, oh, I need to switch my Clef into Toxic. That's not what's coming out. Otherwise, you're switching into Glare. And Clef isn't safe from a full para. I will say this, though. I do think Calm Mind Clefable sets are pretty lacking in the metagame. I don't really see those shits sweeping too much. I mean, it is hard to one-hit KO Clefable, and as it gets Speed F boost, it's even harder, but still, I don't know. I don't think it's that good. I mean, Heatran, again, being at the top, makes Calm Mind really hard to pull off. You have to run Thunder, right? I mean, Genesect's gone, so it kinda is cool, but, like, I don't understand why you'd use it. I think there's just better options in general. Still get fucked up by Magearna unless you're unaware. Melmetal on everybody's team. So, again, you choose between Thunderbolt or Flamethrower. If you have Thunderbolt, so you can hit Heatran. And you should run Thunder probably so you can paralyze, although you'll miss. So, but yeah, you run the electric move Thunder, you're getting walled by Melmetal. Excadrill also can switch in if you don't have the fire move, so I don't think Calm Mind is that good. But defensive Clef will always be king, but it's really nice to see it at number 14th in usage. Koko at number 15. I really did not expect Tapu Koko to be such a highly rated Pokemon. I'll be honest with you. So I got a Specs Koko team here. This is about the 4 moves Specs Koko can run. It's Stab moves, Dazzling Gleam, and then of course Grass Knot just to hit ground types like Swampert and shit like that. Only thing else you could probably run is U-Turn even on Specs. But yes, Koko was mocked by Game Freak haters. The haters at Game Freak that actually worked at Game Freak. They hated on my boy Tapu Koko, trolled us into thinking it was going to get Rising Voltage, Close Combat, like you name it. And my boy did not get any of that shit. No play rough, no nothing. So I am really surprised that he's at number 15. But nevertheless, people seem to really enjoy using this Mon. It'll always be a consistent Mon. Its speed stat is really nice, but I don't know. It's so weak that I didn't think I'd see it at 15th in usage. It's so weak. Like, it's so weak. Especially because Terrain got nerfed, right? Terrain got nerfed. It no longer has access to HP Ice. So if you want to hit ground types, you go for Dazzling Gleam, which is a hilariously weak move. But somehow it still stayed high in usage, number 15th. So I don't know if that's hype. I don't know if people are using some sets I'm not into. But let me go look at the personal OU viability ranking. See where people put Koko. Where did people rate Koko? Where did this guy rate it? A-. Okay. We see Koko in A- here. We see Koko in A- here. I mean, yeah, I guess it's one of those Pokemon that just has enough utility. You know, like Defog, Roost, Taunt, brings Terrain to where like you can't really put it in B. But I am surprised that people are fucking with Koko so much. But perhaps I have to try it a little bit more. Blaziken at number 16. Hilarious that this thing didn't even make top 10, let alone top 15. How you get outdone by Zapdos, which is definitely not even good. That's super pathetic. And a Pokemon that only has electric type moves. So yeah, Blaziken, you guys know I'm a seasoned Blaziken hater now. I think this shit sucks. I don't think it's very good in the metagame at all. I mean, it's Blaziken, it has speed boost. It's obviously scary to run into. You'll never run into it and be like, oh shit. And never be like, oh, like this is nothing. Every time you see it, you'll be like, okay, I have to think about this, this, and this. But in reality, it never does the demonic sweep you think it's gonna do. It's very easy to limit from setting up. With Adamant Nature at +2 speed, it only hits 518 speed, which is outsped by most Scarfers. Almost like all Scarfers. Besides like base 100s, and if you're Jolly, you still get outsped by like Scarfpult, Scarfmosa, stuff like that. It's extremely frail. And you can't really afford to run Protect because you have to run Swords Dance. As for the fire move, I have Blaze Kick because this is a Sun team, but otherwise you run Flare Blitz, aka the move that makes you kill yourself, which is stupid. +2 Earthquake is strong as a as your coverage option, but it's really just to hit Pex. You can't kill Slowbro or Fini or any of them. So you'd rather have knockoff. In fact, the most success I had with a Blaziken, I shit you not, was Swords Dance Close Combat knockoff Thunder Punch. I didn't even have the fire move, and I had Koko Electric Terrain, so that Life Orb T-Punch could beat through Clefable and Toxapex. And so that was pretty interesting, right? We didn't even have a fire move. But hey, that one was pretty interesting because at least I wasn't taking the residuals from Flare Blitz. I'm not big on Blaziken. I don't think it's that great. I mean, of course it's scary, right? It's getting the +1 speed. But like, the shit can't kill anybody. Zygarde completely owns Blaziken too. If it doesn't +2. It just doesn't get the opportunity as a +2 either. Dies to hella priority. Frail as it gets. You always know exactly what it's going to run. And if it's not running SD3 attack, then it's probably not even as good as it could have been. Honestly, just run Darmanitan. Have more, like, you probably have better success with Darmanitan. Probably. I mean, like, no, because the fighting type shit is cool. And if Darmanitan could hit Swampert and Regieleki, I mean, sorry, not Regieleki, Swampert and Zygarde, it'd probably be better than Blaziken, seriously. But it is what it is. But Blaziken is 16th. I predict this thing to maybe stay around this position. As bans come up, it might go up, but this shit's pretty bad for now. Melmetal at 17th. I think Melmetal should have been top 10. I don't know where I would have put it, but it's good enough to be top 10. It's extremely good. The thing still did what it did before, where it's able to OHKO every single mon in the metagame for the most part. Coverage is fantastic. So this is a set. This is a set I like to run: Double Iron Bash, Superpower, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch. Earthquake is of course a great option as well, though. Lets you hit Magearna consistently, hit Heatran without lowering your defenses, and it's just nice because lowering your defense and attack kind of sucks a lot of the time. So Earthquake is still really, really good. Double Iron Bash is of course the main move on this set. It's broken, kills resist, kills everything, stupid shit. This is on Trick Room. I think Melmetal in Trick Room is the biggest demon. Like, you can't even beat it. Like this team, for example, if you run into opposing Melmetal, you lose. Like, you lose instantly. There's nothing you can do. If it's a Trick Room Melmetal, you'll lose because it's slower than everybody. And if it's a faster Melmetal, not on Trick Room, you'll lose because it's a Trick Room team. So all your guys are already slower. So you're fucked either way. But Melmetal just eliminates some teams so horribly quickly. Some teams just struggle to beat it. I like Assault Vest a lot. Like I said, this is the Assault Vest set with Earthquake. This set is definitely really cool. It has a massive HP, so you can afford to just jack up its SPDF. And this thing is able to live Earth powers from fucking Landorus, you know, Ice Punch back. Double Iron Bash is the most consistent move. In my video earlier today, Melmetal tanked, what was it on? This team, right? What was the spread? Yep. Again, Melmetal was able to take +2 Tornadus Focus Blast with ease. With ease, it did 70 something, and I smashed that thing with Double Iron Bash. Best part about Double Iron Bash is that it can't miss. You just gotta be wary of Helmet, but I see this thing going up in usage as time goes on. It's very, very good, and it's better than all these guys. Literally, it's better than all these guys. It should be top 10. Regular Zap at 18th. The regular Zap is nice, bro. Regular Zap is nice with those heavy-duty boots, bro. He be coming in here, he be sitting around, you just sit there all day. This is the offensive side with Hurricane, Thunder, Weather Ball. This thing is definitely scary, but it's not like that crazy. I mean, you have to run on Rain. Still slow. Still suffers competition from other things by using that slot. So Life Orb Zapdos, as fun and novelty as it is, that's just not that crazy. There's better electric types. Hurricane's fun, but I mean, still, I don't know. It's good though. It's good. I'm not gonna say it's bad. Offensive Zapdos is definitely cool. It's good, but it's not the craziest set. I think the defensive set is what makes this thing the the most annoying. This is the set I'm talking about. Volt Switch, Heat Wave, Defog, Roost. Now you can run Volt Switch or you can run Discharge. And lately I've seen people electing to run Hurricane, so Zygarde doesn't come in for free. The thing that happens when you run this is that Zygarde will wall you forever, right? Landorus can only come in on so many Heat Waves, which is pretty nice. But if you have Hurricane, you're really screwing with those guys. The other thing is Zapdos is extremely bulky. 1,000 arrows does 20%, right? And then when you drop it, it does 40%, which means Zapdos is still walling your Zygarde, which is ridiculous unless you start, you know, buffing your attack. But yeah, Zapdos be putting in that work. OD, bro. He's good. I like him as a defogger. He still faces the problems he used to face, status prone and stuff like that, but static boots, you cannot sleep on that. You got to think twice about going for U-turns and stuff. Honestly, it's one of the reasons I've had trouble using Kartana, because people keep using goddamn Zapdos and Moltres, the original ones with their static and flame body, so you can't even go for your attacks. You think twice about clicking U-turn when they got a Zapdos, right? So it even makes those mind games, but heavy duty boots is like the best gift that this thing could have gotten. So I like Zapdos at number 18. It's definitely a hard to beat mon a lot of the time, and it's great. It's great. So I'll probably be toying around with more Zapdos sets as time goes on, but for now I think the heavy duty boots static is really, really hard to beat. Ferrothorn at 19th. Now, if I'm trying to look at the teams I have Ferrothorn on, I got my boy Mimo's team, but I haven't even really tested this team yet. Leech Seed, Knockoff, Power Whip, Spikes. I haven't really used Ferrothorn that much in the current meta because I feel like it's probably susceptible to too many Pokemon. The reason I have been reluctant to use Ferrothorn is because I feel like too many Pokemon are likely to set up on it. Landorus-I smoking you with Blast, Heatran smoking you with Magma Storm, Spectrier can 2KO with Specs, but if it's not Specs, then Ferrothorn can at least hit this with Knockoff and Gyro, which do a lot of damage. Zygarde setting up on you with ease. Landorus-T, I mean, I guess you can knock off your leftovers, which sucks. Mosa destroying you. Kyurem-B setting up on you on the last Gyro Ball or Body Press, and I don't think there's room for Press right now. Well, maybe there is because you hit Tran, but I think all Pharaohs need knockoff. Because if you knock off Heatran, it's like the best thing that can happen for you. Mag loses unless it's Focus Blast. Urshifu, that's taking on Ferrothorn, but for the most part, I don't know. I think it's nice that it can get up hazards, but in this metagame where rocks aren't even that good, everybody uses boots, etc., etc. It's like okay. It's still good, but I don't even like running spikes like that, so I don't really value it as much. Personally, I just haven't found the right team to fit it on. It's definitely an annoying mon. It's definitely very good. I mean, it's a great check to stuff like, or sometimes even flat out good counter to stuff like Electro Kid and Coco. Not if they're together though. If they're together, Electro Kid will 2-hit KO this thing. It's nasty, but Ferrothorn in general will always be one of those good Pokemon because it's able to put up the hazards, knock off everything, and just like force switches. But for the most part, I understand why it's at 19th right now. The guys in top 10 can take a really good advantage of it, so it makes sense. Nagadadel at 20th, that makes no sense to me. Why the hell was this thing in 20th in usage and then got banned? I'm fine with it getting banned, I just don't know why it was 20th in usage, but I really don't got too much to comment on that. Goodbye, Nagadadel. Poof. Tornadus 21. Now, the Torn is weird, right? So this is a set I've liked the most on the Electro Kid team. We got Hurricane, U-Turn, Defog, Heat Wave, an offensive set straight up. It's definitely not that bulky when you don't invest in it. You definitely will feel this thing being frail as like moves like 1,000 arrows start doing 60%. You'll be like, what the hell, is this the same Tornadus? But with the offensive investment, I'm able to do stuff like 2-hit KO Clefables and stuff like that. Only problem with this set is you cannot hit Heatran, which is garbage. And that's something you got to think about. So in other like ways to use Tornadus, you can of course use the classic knockoff Tornadus. I wonder if this one's Nasty Plot. This one's Nasty Plot, Hurricane, Weather Ball. You can run Nasty Plot, Hurricane, Focus Blast. And then you really only need Hurricane, Focus Blast, or a move to hit Steel types. That's what he picked Weather Ball for, so I understand. But you can run U-Turn, Knockoff as well. I haven't used defensive yet, really, but I've played against it. Assault Vest is pretty cool in my head, just because you totally smoke Landorus-I. Like, you for sure smoke Landorus-I with Assault Vest, unless it's Rock Slide. And you can probably soak a lot of good like hits. Like Spectrier, you're probably taking that thing on. Knockoff will always be the best move ever. It's better than Scald now, of course, because Scald got nerfed. So Knockoff is just really good in general. So Torn's not bad. I see that thing moving up in usage as time goes on. But right now there's a lot of electric types and shit that scare it. So you got to see. But that thing will always be annoying, being able to knock off U-turn forever. Pult at 22. Sad that my boy is in 22 and it doesn't have like 30,000% usage like it usually has. I think Hype has knocked it down a little bit, but like Hype for other mons, but he's still good. He's still damn consistent. I got a lot of teams with it. That speed stat is not to be fucked with, right? He's still faster than Coco. outsped by Mosa, but ghost coverage is still good. The reason you're afraid of Spectrier is also the reason you're afraid of Dragapult. So I have a ghost spam team. In fact, I think I showed you guys, right? My boy Ski passed me this one. Ghost is such a fantastic typing offensively in this metagame that you can get away using 5 ghost types on a team. Seriously. So Dragapult, Scarf, and Specs are fantastic. I don't really be running Dragon Dance. I don't really see the point right now. I think stuff like Kyurem-B just does it better. Stuff like Magearna checking you. Same with Heatran. I don't see the point of DD. But Specs is a demon. Special in general is just really hard to beat. It's still able to spread its status if it really wanted to, but for the most part, I see people only running Specs. And if you look at my team, I don't really got switch-ins to Specs. Like, most of these things are Ghost, Neutral, Ghost, Weak, and your favorite Dark type doesn't take it that well. And like we said, Pursuit doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, this thing is still great. 22 usage is probably just because hype, because it still checks most of these guys quite easily. It'll go up as time goes on. Fini number 23. Fini's lit. The fact that I didn't get Flip Turn, another epic troll by Game Freak. Not giving it Flip Turn, but giving it Play Rough. Haha, very epic Game Freak. But yeah, this thing's good at defogging. It's good check to Zygarde because it brings up the terrain. As far as my teams with Fini go, do I even have any? I feel like I do. Damn, I have just one, and I haven't even used this team, so I can't really speak on it. But this one's Stored Power, Draining Kiss, Subcalm Mind. I think Scald's better. I don't think Stored Power is good. I think Scald's definitely better. I have heard a lot of people say that this thing is very hard to beat though with Draining Kiss. I was under the impression that Primarina would be better, but Misty Terrain, better speed, and way better defenses are probably a lot better than just having that massive special attack. And this thing's special attack's actually good. So yeah, this thing is actually really scary with Subcalm Mind. You definitely have to worry about that thing. I think it's also going to go up in usage as time goes on. Of course, it gets managed right now by a lot of big threats, like all the electric types and shit. But if you look in the top 10, it's able to check a lot of these guys quite nicely. So I see Fini going up as time goes on. Pussy Rillaboom at number 24. Now, Rillaboom is better than Tapu Bulu, who did not even make it in to the top 40, which is very pathetic. But yeah, Rillaboom is better than Bulu because Bulu did not get Play Rough or Grassy Glide, so that thing remained pretty mid. Bulu's fun to use, but it's definitely not that good compared to Rillaboom. It's definitely nice being able to Horn Leech and stuff, but Rillaboom stays consistent. Now, the best thing about Rillaboom is that it beats Zygarde, like really nicely with Grassy Glide. The priority is also just good for checking Landos, Spectrier, Mosa, because even though it resists, it gets fried. So this thing will always be good in that sense. It's also able to check Electro Kid, Koko, even like Pex and Clef. You know, they get smoked by Woodhammer. It has U-turn, knockoff too. So yeah, bringing up the terrain and all that stuff. Rillaboom's always good. It always brings a lot to the table, which is everything it does. It's very annoying, very hard to deal with. 24th kind of surprised me. I think it'll go up as well as the metagame stabilizes. My boy Pert at 25. This thing hasn't been OU since Gen 4, which is crazy. I don't know if it's going to fall off, but it's pretty good. It's hard to tank. Flip Turn has made it really nice on these offensive teams where you can afford to kind of Volt Turn around. It definitely has a nice little momentum, kind of bulky offense pivot. Like, it feels, this one's insane. I don't know what this one's supposed to be. It's like mixed defensive, but it's for brazy shit. But for the most part, I just run Flip Turn defensive. But yeah, it almost feels like Rotom Wash with Volt Switch to me. Flip Turn's epic because you can get up rocks and just get out of there. It's very hard to KO. In my video earlier today, I was running the counter on Swampert, which was really cool. I was able to take a lot of hits like Earthquake from Landorus, Wicked Blow from Urshifu, and just kill those guys with Wicked Blow in return. Kill those guys with counter in return. And again, Flip Turn is just great because it gives you all your momentum you need. Swampert is extremely hard to one-hit KO. Without a grass type move, it's very hard to kill that thing on either side, special or Fizz Def. Like, that guy is the king of always living a hit unless it's a grass type move. So Swampert, he's quite consistent. I really fuck with him right now in this meta. Great. Chomp at 26. I don't think Chomp's very good. I haven't used Chomp enough, but I don't even think it's good. The times I've played against it, I'm not scared of it ever. 102 base speed is decent, but it's not decent enough. That's the thing. That shit's too weak. 130 is not cutting it, Chief. Yeah, I don't worry about Garchomp. It's hard to justify using Garchomp when Landorus is right there. You can run Outrage, but there's a million fairies, so like, what do? You run Stone Edge, which kind of works, but then you're walled by shit still. It's weird, man. Garchomp's gonna go up. First of all, Garchomp's gonna go up in usage when people find the better sets. But for now, it's kind of in a sticky spot. Like, how many times in Gen 7 and Gen 6 did you see SD Garchomps? Quite sparingly, right? Because people were so annoyed by Landorus-T. especially in Gen 7. You would see Rockium Z, but there's no Rockium Z anymore. So this thing's gonna get annoyed by fairies hella hard. I mean, Rocks is probably decent, but Heatran and Landorus, again, give it the competition. The speed stat's good, but if you're not running a dragon move, even stuff like Zygarde is annoying. Landorus, you don't want to have to Stone Edge that guy. Yeah, it's annoying, man. Chomp is in a position right now where it's hard to find the perfect set, so in due time they'll probably figure that out, but for now it's kind of annoying. Ditto at 27th. Ditto. Okay, so Ditto is just the offense counter teamer right now. It's just a little flavor. People see all the Ubers came back, so this is like their #1 way of dealing with it. There's not much to comment on. I don't think Ditto is like overbearing. It's good, honestly. It helps you check Magearna and broken Spectrier when they're sweeping you mindlessly, so I'm all for it. Makes sense for it to be smack dab in the middle too, because, you know. Yeah, Cinderace at 28th. That's crazy. I didn't expect my boy to be this low. He's good. I don't understand. You can see he's pretty great versus the top 10. Landorus-T and Zygarde, you can just U-turn out on those, but he checks the other guys well. Especially, you know, stuff like Heatran and Mosa, if, you know, you change into the correct typing. Not Mosa, actually. Mosa be fucking you up. I've had some success with Scarf Cinderace. I think that's a really good lure. People don't really expect it, and it's very, very fast. So I think Scarf Cinderace is something people should try out. It's really not bad. This thing does keep its issues, though, which is being walled by Pex. 370 speed was demon fast in the old metagame, but now Mosa's here, Spectrier's here, Regieleki kid's here, Coco's here. That 370 not hitting. Tornadus is here. So yeah, honestly, I kind of understand it being at 28th now that I think about it, but it'll go up as time goes on. Pelipper at number 29. That's rain hype. That's it. Nothing else to say. It didn't get any new tools. It doesn't do anything specific right now. It's just rain. So that's Pelipper. Pelipper is the same guy it always was. It's pretty mid, but he's good at getting up raid. So Blissey at number 30. Blissey doing the same shit. It beats the horse, but like not really, because if the horse has sub, that's gonna be annoying. Blissey gets smoked by a lot of guys right now, like Melmetal and Mosa. Set up on by Kyurem-B, smoked by Urshifu, set up on by Zygarde, but it's able to kind of beat Landorus-I. Not really though, because if Landorus is Focus Blast, it just cleans up Blissey. So Blissey, I don't think is that hot of a pick. Stall in general is garbage. I'll talk about that soon. Excadrill 31. Damn, that shit is falling like a rock. Yeah, ground types are taking over, mainly Landorus and Zygarde. There's not a lot of positions to use Excadrill. In my opinion, the best way to rock an Excadrill right now is probably on a sand team in combination with Gravity Landorus-I. I'm sure that's a broken combo, but Excadrill 31, yeah, it's just people like different rockers more, and now that, you know, a lot of shit can defog. I mean, even people run defog Landorus-I more than they run spin drill now, so it's tough. Only viable on sand, but again, you're running sand, you gotta run Hippo, which gets fucked up by all of these guys. Or Tyranitar, who gets fucked up by everything on the screen, not just the top 10. So again, you got to think about that. Corv at 32. Interesting. Spadef Corv beats a lot of shit in the metagame. It beats Landorus-I if it's not Calm Mind. And even if it is Calm Mind, you only have 4 chances to hit Focus Blast. So you'll miss all of them and lose. Mosa has trouble beating this thing too, because it has to rely on Focus Blast and CC, which, judging by your spread, you could even tank 2. Landorus-T, obviously walled by Corv. Mag can beat it with T-Bolt, but you can pivot out. And so in general, I mean, this thing is just bulky, right? It's good. It's good to U-turn on. Again, we got a lot of more electric types, so you got to be wary of that shit. But it can even check Melmetal pretty nicely too. It's not a bad mon at all. Corv at 32 might just be because the other stuff is hot, but yeah, Corv will be back. This shit's always one of the goats. And I don't think it's really fallen off too much in the metagame. Mandibuzz is right next to it, which is hilarious. These are the same Pokemon in my opinion. Mandibuzz and Corv, like the same shit. So I'm not even surprised about this, them being right next to each other. Mandibuzz got hit even harder because it's like when I explained Spectrier being able to get through it, most Pokemon can just get through it now. Zygarde be glaring it. It's not a good check, even with foul play. I mean, foul play is nice because a lot of these guys are strong, and if you take the +2 hit, you're revenge killing them back. Foul play also be like doing a shit ton of Melmetal and stuff. But I mean, you're weak to Magearna, you're weak to Kyurem-B, most of 2 KOing you. Landorus-I Focus Blast, even doing a lot of Calm Minds, you're screwed. Tran gonna Magma Storm Toxic you, screwed. It's, yeah, dude, it ain't Mandibuzz's meta. Both Mandibuzz and Corv are just whatever. It'll be a toss up if those guys go up. Cart at 34. This surprised me a lot. I don't know why Cart's at 34th. I've been using Cart. If you guys have seen my streams, I've been using Cart quite a bit. I only use Bandit and Scarf. I don't use other sets. I only ever use Bandit and Scarf. And this is a set you run all 4 of these attacks. And honestly, I've had a lot of success with it. Nothing to really complain about. Bandit is able to hit very, very hard. The only things that are able to switch into this consistently are Zapdos and Moltres. And that shit sucks because they will paralyze or burn you. However, if you're ballsy and you're just like, whatever, I'm not going to get hacked, go for knockoff on the switch to those guys, take 50% of their HP, knock off their boots, and then it gets a little bit more manageable. The problem is, oftentimes, Kartana is the Pokemon with knockoff. So if you run into Zapdos or Moltres, you're screwed. First of all, though, those Pokemon don't have enough usage to make this thing be 34th. I really think people should start using this more. Choice is very, very good. It's very hard to switch into choice band everything still. I just don't understand why people are not fucking with this. I mean, look at the top 5. Cart has something for all these guys. Like, I don't get it. Scarf and Band are really, really good. People are asleep. Try this. People are asleep. Dragonite at 35. My boy got heavy duty boots. He got dual wing beat. That's about it. But those are great things to have. I haven't had a chance to try him out yet. He's definitely better than 35th. I think people just like using Kyurem-B and Zygarde more, which I understand. I don't think people have used the right set. I think some DD Roost defensive shit is probably it's just satanic. Especially with dual wing beat and what's it called? Dual wing beat and multi-scale. I also think Salamence is probably great in this metagame too. But that thing is unfortunately not seeing a lot of usage. Also keep in mind that this thing walls Landorus-I. So it's pretty good. So slept on threat right now. T-Tar 36, T-Tar's ass. It'll continue to go down in usage. It has no place in the metagame at all, which is unfortunate. It's able to put up rocks, and it is a ghost resist, but other than that, it's tough. I mean, the only, like, it's able to bring sand too. See, it has all these characteristics, but the mon itself is so bad. It's just good at putting up rocks sometimes. And then nothing else. You should honestly run Thunder Wave and rocks on all of these. It's probably the most you'll get. I mean, in theory, Banded looks like it could do some work, but it won't because Zygarde and Landorus are here. And you can think in your head, oh, I'll Ice Punch those. You won't. They'll go into Toxapex. They'll go into Clefable. You'll feel like a clown. They'll go into Blaziken SD on you, and you'll be the first guy in the history of the world to lose to Blaziken in Crown Tundra DLC. You really want to be that guy? Don't use Tyranitar, bro. This shit's ass. Slowbro 37. I like seeing Slowbro's usage go down too. This thing has always been hella annoying in the tier. Everybody running their Teleport Boost set. I like Boost the most, but Helmet is still solid. I think Slowbro's good because it's able to check Blaziken and what counters Blaziken if it's not a knockoff. And it's able to tick on Melmetal pretty nicely too. And when you have Helmet, you really beat Melmetal, which is cool because you soak its Iron Bash and make it take 30-something% in return. I mean, this guy's just good at taking hits, but there's a lot of things that beat it. Zygarde, if it doesn't have Ice Beam, setting up on it, subbing up, glaring it, all that shit. Spectrier is, of course, blowing it up. Landorus-I winning. Mosa, Kyurem, Magearna, Urshifu, all these guys got their ways to take it on. And a lot of the guys here also just piss it off, so I understand why it's at 37th. Still think Teleport's a fantastic set, though. But I think right now, just the most used offensive threats are very unfavorable for Slowbro to deal with. So I understand why this guy's cooling at 37th. We got Moltres at 38. This guy is very, very underrated. Roost, Flamethrower, Scorching Sands, Defog, or even a move over Defog if you don't need it. Very hard to beat. You should run Defog though. Yeah, this shit sucks to play against. Seriously, if you look at the top 10, nobody really switches into Flamethrower and Scorching Sands. All 5 of these guys get hit pretty hard by Flamethrower, so they don't want to come in. And all of these guys also get hit hard by Flamethrower or Scorching Sands. Zygarde is decent, but if you get burned by Scorching Sands, you're going to scream. Tran just gets 2 KO by Scorching Sands. Again, it's Electric week, it's Rocks week. If you lose your heavy duty boots, you're still shitty ass Moltres 4 times a week to Rocks. But this thing is really hard, bro. As long as you don't lose your boots, this thing is really, really hard to beat. It's really annoying. The defensive capabilities are nice. Like this thing is fun, but still, there's a lot of annoying stuff. It's susceptible to toxic and paralysis too. And Flamethrower and Scorching Sands, despite being good coverage options, are weak. Like they're weak powered moves. So suffer some trouble from Zapdos, like competition. But I think if you run U-turn, it might be better. It's just hard to figure out where to fit that. Latios at 39. This is the most heinous thing. This is the most slept on in the metagame. This shit should be top 20. Like this shit should be in top 20. This thing being at 39 is such a shame. It doesn't even make sense. People are not using this. People are not respecting the GOAT. I think people really have just gone crazy and they just want to use all the new stuff that they forgot this thing is here. It got Mystical Fire, which is fantastic. I don't know how this thing is not top 20. So the set I run is on this team. I only have one team with it, but I only need one team with it because this shit is crazy. I don't know why it's called Enely Choppa. I didn't make the nicknames, but shout out Enely Choppa, man. I don't really like him, but this is that fucking shot of flow, bro. So I got Life Orb, Draco Meteor, Psychic, Mystical Fire, Recover. 3 attack. That's all you need. Of course, you can't hit Heatran with this set, but whatever. Have something else for Heatran. I'm not trying to run Surfer Earthquake. That's just not that good in the current meta. Mystical Fire is basically the reason this thing's awesome. You're able to destroy Ferrothorn, Melmetal, Magearna, Excadrill, Corviknight. Basically all the stuff that would have been annoying to Latios cannot be annoying anymore because it has a fantastic fire move. Not to mention this move drops special attack, which can make for some great mind games, and also just makes it hard to switch into in general. Like say you predict a Mystical Fire, right? So you go into your Dragapult or your own Latios against Latios. They dropped your special attack still, so you still are on the negative side of this exchange. Like you still didn't come in on a good point because you dropped your special attack, so they came out on top. Draco Psychic is able to fuck up everybody. You wall Landorus-I, destroy it with Draco. Heatran, again, it can tank the spread if you're not running Earthquake or Surf, but if it doesn't have Toxic, then it'll lose to Psychic. So yeah, unless it has Taunt or Toxic, it's gonna lose because you can just recover on it. Spectrier can't switch in, but it'll beat it. Zygarde dead. Mosa kills it, but dies in return. Same with Kyurem-B. Urshifu can kill it with Sucker Punch, but obviously dies to Draco. And a lot of these defensive guys, they're not pulling up, bro. This Clef Pex, destroyed by Psychic. Clef 2-hit KO'd because they're all Fizz Def. Pex murdered by Psychic if it's Fizz Def. Ferrothorn owned by Mystical Fire. You get clean opportunities to roost, bro. Latios has always retained its decent bulk too. Like this thing is really being disrespected by being at 39th in usage. So yeah, it's gonna go up for sure. Like it's gonna go up for sure. People are gonna start realizing, oh shit, this thing has 130 special attack. What am I doing? Don't sleep on this thing, guys. This shit's amazing. And then we got Urshifu Water 1 in 40th. I only see this guy on rain teams. He's still good, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really use this thing. I don't really care for it too much. It's hella scary under the rain because its move is multi-hit. I think Scarf under the rain is scary, but I guess if you play Pex, it's not really that scary. So that's going to be that. So now if we look at the tier changes, we see Slowbro went to OU. We see Aegislash and Gengar went to UUBL, which is so shameful. Hawlucha and Primarina, I forgot were OU. Those dudes are ass. I didn't even think about them. But, oh my god. What the hell is Aegislash? Gengar's ass too. What the hell is Aegislash doing at UU? This is the biggest fall off. So shameful. And we gotta see what else went to UU, man. Alakazam, poof. I'm gonna ignore stuff like Articuno and all of them just because like they didn't get enough chances, and obviously they're gonna be UU. They're garbage. For the most part, it's hard to like get a consistent work with them. Blisef being in UU hurts me, but I understand for now. Crawdon being in UU means it fell off. Celesteela in UU is something to think about as well. That thing I guess people aren't using as much, but he's pretty good defensively. Hippo in UU. Hatterene in UU is crazy. Hatterene is still very good. Still a very hard mon to switch into. It has a fantastic special attack stat, but people I guess are using other special attackers. I think Hatterene's a necessity on Trick Room, so I don't know why it's here because Trick Room's fantastic. Hydreigon in UU, again suffering competition from other dragons, but this shit getting banned, I bet. Komodo fell down here, Jirachi fell back down, whatever, old rockers. Latias, Magnezone here is very rude. I don't know why Magnezone's here. Regieleki, figures. Rotom Heat, wow, so that thing had a good year being the best mon, like one of the best mons ever, but now it's fallen off. I think it'll come back. It beats Melmetal, it beats the electric types, it can take on Kartana, it can still spread Wisp. I mean, it is messed up by Heatran, but it'll be back. Skarm, Tangrowth, Lele and UU is hilarious. Dude's pulling out with Lele, Zam, and UU. Volt goes down to UU too, haha, and Zero Aura. And both Thunderous too. Toxicity. Damn. Rhyperior went back down. All these are whack. I don't care about this shit. So yeah, I mean, even looking at people's personal viability rankings, we can see like what do people think is bad for the most part. Shit like Scizor, Nihilego, Regieleki, T-Tar. I understand. Wow, this guy really thinks Celesteela and Hatterene are bad. Oh, bro, you really think those shits are dog garbage. You're wrong, though. You're really underrating the ability. Let me see his ranks. Where do you got Hatterene? B? Tell me you got it in B plus at least. No, don't tell me it's in B minus. This isn't C? Ooh, does this guy even have hat ranked? Where the hell is his hat? Oh, it's just not even alphabetical. Whatever, maybe he had it. I don't care. Oh, it's right here in B plus. Facts. It should be at least A minus or B plus. I don't know people putting it so low. I cannot believe hat isn't even here in the top 40. That shit's super sad that it went to UU. But guys, these are my first tier rankings for the Clown Tundra. That was long, but you basically got my opinion on some of the stuff. I agree with some of the stuff, but I think once bans comes in, bans come in, we'll start to see stuff stabilize. But I'm loving this meta. Let me know your guys' thoughts below. Long video, about an hour, but I had to do it. Go check out the Brave browser with my referral code, of course. If you guys enjoyed this, it's the best way to support me for free. Brave.com/BLU441. You get paid, I get paid. What could be better? So go check that out. If you haven't, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you for 81K. And I'll see you guys later with the stream. Peace.